Hi guys, welcome. I thought I would show you how to make something really nice to go with leftover rice after I showed you how to make that aromatic rice. If you have any leftover, this is a lovely, I don't know what you would call it. I don't think it's called a chutney. It's like a garnish, or I don't know what it's called. If any of you know what it's called, let me know. But basically in here I have about 5 just medium-sized onions. And see the way I've cut them into just into rings, and I don't have any oil in here. I'm dry frying all of this here on quite a low heat, and I'm just going to keep it turning until they caramelize. In the meantime, over here on another low heat I have some flaked almonds, and this one I do fry in a little bit of olive oil. There's probably about a tablespoon of olive oil in there, and I'm just going to crisp them up nice and brown. So whenever these will cook really quickly, so just be careful that you don't walk away and forget about them. And the same thing with the onions. Don't walk away and forget about them, because they do need to be turned regularly because you're dry frying them. And in fact, I'm going to even put them onto a lower heat because that's just too high. Sorry about that noise. The other thing I'm going to show you is the raisins. I have raisins in here, and they've been sitting in some cold water for a couple of hours, and that just helps them to plump up and absorb some moisture. So I'm just going to rinse them off in the sink here. Not rinse them off, drain them off in the sink. And I'm going to add them when all of this is cooked as well. So I'll cook away here and I'll be back and show you how to put it all together. You can see how nicely caramelized the onions have become, and you can't really see any white anymore. That's when you know they're done. So I'm going to take it off the heat. Well, actually no, I'm not. I'm going to keep it on the heat because I'm going to add the spices. Sorry about that. The spices I have here is Madras. Madras. If you can't get your hands on Madras curry powder, any kind of curry powder will do. I have 2 teaspoons of Madras, and I have 2 teaspoons of salt in here. The salt really gives us that lovely seasoning. And the reason I'm putting it back on the heat is because the heat always brings to life the spices and gives them that, takes away that kind of harsh coarseness and makes them lovely and warm. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that on the heat literally for a minute, not very long. And in the meanwhile, you can see my almonds are nicely toasted. I didn't forget about them so they didn't burn. So I'm going to add them in here as well. And there's only a tiny little bit of oil in there left over from the frying of the almonds. You can see that there. And the last thing I'm going to add is my raisins. I'm just going to take it off the heat now and mix that through. And remember, we had our raisins that were soaked, so they're nice and plump. And I'm going to just stir all that through, and that is going to make the most delicious garnish that you can even just serve on the side. It'd be lovely with your salmon and your rice on the side. What I tend to do is I serve it sometimes with hot with rice, or I serve it cold. When I have leftover rice, I put some of this into it with some mayonnaise, and it's the most delicious salad. One other thing I wanted to just remind you about your nuts is when you have them nice and toasted in the pan and you think they're cooked and you turn the heat off, be careful. They will continue to cook in the pan even though you've turned the heat off, because your pan is still hot. So just keep giving them a little stir around all the time. So that's basically it. Our delicious curried almonds, onions and raisins with some delicious Madras spice mixed in there. How about that? Yummy, yummy. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you're all doing okay out there, and hope to definitely make a birthday cake soon. God bless.